Hello, I'm Bert Oliver, and welcome to Bowie News and Views. And co-host, co-anchor John Rouse will introduce our guest.
Thank you, Bert. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Mine too.
It's the highlight of my week.
I know that.
We're very pleased to have with us tonight someone I've known personally for a while, one of Bowie's legendary musicians. And I say that in all earnestness because I've seen him perform classical music. He's not all classical. His other music probably is alien to me, but his classical music is fantastic. I still have a CD of yours that you made.
Thank you.
Mother gave me. Yeah, super. Owen is going to discuss a program sponsored by the Arts Committee that involves a variety of concerts and other events in Bowie, and it's probably a heck of a lot easier for you to go into the technical details than I.
Right. Well, we're pretty much doing 3 concerts.
Mm-hmm.
The first of which is the rock concert. That's going to be on August 20th, so that's coming up pretty soon. We're also doing a jazz concert and a hip-hop concert, and those are going to be probably around January and March. So they're still a ways off, but they're coming. Right. And we're going to kind of go off of the success of this first one and see how that goes and make any adjustments.
Is it going to be at the Brava Center?
It's actually going to be at the Bowie Playhouse, the theater in the woods behind White Marsh Park.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they just got like refurbished and everything, brand new sound system and lighting and stuff like that. So it's a really, really nice facility that they have there. So I'm looking forward to it.
Much improvement. That'll be the next. The 3 you mentioned, are they all 3 going to be there?
Yes.
Okay, August. What's the next first date?
August 20th.
Yeah, there's August 20th is the first one. The second one, the jazz concert is going to be on January 3rd, and the hip hop one is going to be in March.
Well, that'll be the one that I'll go to.
All right. Good.
He still remembers that.
Still remembers it.
Hip hop. You know, I'm quite anxious to find out early on about you personally, Owen. When did you first started training for your music? And I've seen you often, and you do a fantastic job.
Thank you. Well, I've been taking classical lessons since age 6. I've competed in a lot of local piano competitions, and I've got a lot of first places and done stuff like that. I have my own recording studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've just been doing a lot of music stuff. I was kind of born into it because my whole family's musical.
Yeah, your mother used to be a pop singer.
Yeah,
oh.
Yeah. My parents met in the band that they were in, so it's just been kind of something that I've always been around. Mm-hmm. So, and then I recently joined the Arts Committee after I graduated high school, and I've been on the committee for a couple of years, and I just figured I need to do something to give back to the community, because I'm on the committee and they have their different agendas and stuff, but I didn't really have anything that I was doing as a new member. So I decided to just approach, Annette Esterheld. She's the chairperson of the Arts Committee. Mm-hmm. And I just said, I wanted to do some concerts. It's an idea I had. A lot of my friends are in bands, and they're doing their thing, and they're professional musicians. They put a lot of dedication into it, and I feel like their music should be shown.
Oh, I agree with you. I think it's great.
And particularly, Bowie hasn't had anything homegrown in that area.
You get some of these ancient folks that perform at Allen Pond.
Yeah. And that's entertaining, but with the work you put in, it's a great opportunity to, like you say, showcase your group and your talents. And your willingness to be on a committee, young as you are, was a great asset to the committee, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And particularly your talents.
But you've got to get the word out, obviously.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle
I want to have a really good turnout for this one so we can, hope for more successes in the future.
Yeah, the first one. That should be a big hit.
Go from there. So is anything now, we're going to do all we can, of course, and maybe when you get closer to the date, I think we've got 2 more programs.
Yeah.
We can mention it again.
Well, plus the fact that this will be on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You can use a lot of people do use the YouTube as a promotional item because it's on every single day, twice a day.
Well, yeah, I'm very glad for this opportunity. And I personally think the event's going to be a really good thing. It's only $5. It's a charity event too. We're donating the proceeds to the IBRRC, which is the International Bird Rescue Research Center.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and we're donating to save the pelicans from the oil spill because they plug the oil, but there's still a lot of wildlife that needs help.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're going and donating to that so we can, give to a kind of a global cause too at the same time. We're providing for, the local community. So, and we're going to have Citrone's Pizza at the intermissions, and it should be good.
What are some of the groups?
There's going to be 3 bands, the first of which is Montclair. Oh, the doors open at 7. The first band is starting at 8:30. The first band is Montclair, and they used to be called Question the Hearing, and they're based out of Severna Park. And their sound is kind of like, they call it experimental pop rock. So, they're doing something different, in the same vein as, my band. We try to, challenge the genres and add in a couple different influences. And
What's your band called?
My band is Stravagant. We're the last band that's playing.
Okay.
And, we're kind of the same thing, fusion. We always like to kind of do something a little bit different instead of the same old thing.
Yeah.
Second band in the lineup is the Suffering Messiah, and they used to be Evisceration. They're actually a Christian band, and they describe their music as progressive metal. So you have it's metal, but it's still kind of experimental in the fact that they bring in a lot of different influences. They bring in some jazz and some classic rock stuff here and there.
Right.
So it's going to be a really, really good blend of music that night. It's not going to be all the same sounding thing the entire time. So and I chose bands that really have a good following and a good sound. I know the Suffering Messiah just changed their lineup. They have a new guitarist, and they just wrote brand new material. And they used to be pretty well known around the Bowie area as far as they used to have kind of a metal scene, I guess. But they were on a hiatus for a while, and then they just changed their lineup, wrote a bunch of new material, and we're looking forward to performing with them.
Where would they perform in the Bowie area? Certainly not T.J. Elliott's.
Well, no. they used to play at the DAV.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty sure they played at some other places. I've seen them perform a couple times, but I was kind of young at the time. So, but yeah, I mean, I've heard their new music, and it's definitely an improvement, and it's looking good, and they got their stuff together.
Well, I'll also, as it's in my mind, or it disappears very quickly, I'll put you in touch with my son. He's got not only a massive Facebook page, but he's also on the air.
Oh,
and
all right.
I think you two should talk, because he's into all of that sort of thing.
All right.
He's a professional disc jockey. He plays every genre from Ravi Shankar to the heavy metal band, so
very cool.
That would be some good publicity for out-of-town people to come in.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We're trying to bring in other groups, especially with the jazz concert and the future concerts.
Yeah.
We're bringing in other groups from outside of Bowie
Right.
as well that already have, established followings, and that, have already been recording and have everything ready. And we're bringing in people from outside of Bowie to kind of get their followings in and kind of create a spot for networking and just mingling of, I guess, music fans and just art fans in general. So, yeah, I wanna bring people into our city and show them, kind of mix, I guess, music cultures in a way.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
What's our city's population of big music fans? Are there a lot?
Yes, there are. Most of my friends are, in fact, musicians. Most of the people I know in Bowie are very creative in some aspect of the arts.
Yeah.
And it's been something that is kind of circulating around our city, but I really feel like these artists need an opportunity to showcase their talents.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So,
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
that's
a
one
great idea.
Bowie, I think, made a good decision getting in that to run the committee at the City of Bowie Arts Committee and youth services. And
Well, they've done a lot, that
there's
committee.
a lot more to be done.
There's a lot more to be done, and I think, quite frankly, if I may be slightly critical, I think a lot more should be done with the Bowie Performing Arts Center.
I don't know.
I mean, what is it there for? Performing arts.
Truly, I'm surprised, and you didn't mention that as one of your
Well, I've
venues.
actually spoken to Mary Newser, and we have some things, some ideas in the woodwork.
Things always seem to be in the woodwork down there.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, there's also, you know, you have to look at where are the places where people can perform. There's not many here in Bowie.
No.
There's not a lot of clubs or places like that. You know, there's TJ Elliott's and the old Bowie Grill.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. So I just really liked when I went to a performance at the Playhouse, and it was just all refurbished and rebuilt and, you know, clean, and it was just a really cool place. And it's kind of neat because it's back in the woods. It's kind of like not, you know, out in the open. And it's not really a place you would go to expect to hear a rock concert.
No, no.
But
and you're fortunate too, because the roof no longer leaks.
Yeah.
It leaked for years.
I know.
Well, it used to not even have a roof.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, originally they set it up without even a roof on it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It was sort of a place to go open.
Yeah.
That's a while back. But and it's a city facility, which is good.
Yeah.
So you literally supporting the city's supporting you, and you're supporting them with this, and you'll be getting a lot of people from out of the area there.
Yeah, they take care of a lot of the logistics involved in setting something like this up.
Just remember, the secret is publicity, publicity, publicity.
Yeah. Yep.
That's right. And you're doing that well. A lot of your solo work, you know, that's where I was introduced to your music solo.
Me too.
And have you had any solo opportunities with your piano?
Well, I have. I mean, I've played for a few different, like, city functions and things like that, doing just, you know, background music, or I'll play at some sort of event where there's like a mixer, a business mixer or something like that around the area.
Hope you get paid.
Huh?
Hope you get paid.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And my godfather recently got me an opportunity to play at his type business mixer thing, which was in D.C., which was the Radio Club of America, some sort of really fancy dinner that I got to play at. A lot of big wigs and movers and shakers there. So I've been performing a lot. Maybe not as much as I'd like to.
Right.
But you know, I guess I also keep up my time in doing research and, you know, trying to set up things like this. So.
Well, I know that it was very impressive, and you were at the Bowie Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, yeah, the
there.
Chamber of Commerce anniversary. I've never seen them get off their duffs to give somebody a standing ovation in my life.
That's exactly what I remember, the standing ovation. And someone said, he's the greatest pianist I've heard. And they were old-timers, and they've been around, and they traveled to New York for events, so that was really neat to come from people that know that.
Well, thank you. I'm flattered.
Sure. Very good. And, of course, I was very interested in that, and have you ever thought about teaching? I know you teach with your group.
Yeah, I've taught on a couple different occasions. I've given a few lessons, although I don't really think that I kind of have the patience for being a teacher, at least at this point in my life, just because, I mean, I don't know, especially when you know, sometimes you get students that just don't practice, and it's just, it ends up being more of a headache. But on the other hand, when you do get a student that is really passionate about it, it's one of the most rewarding things that you can do.
Oh, sure.
You know, when you're actually changing somebody's life. And, you know, I've taught a couple different things. Actually, one of the best experiences I've had teaching is, have you ever seen that movie School of Rock?
No.
With Jack Black. He basically is a substitute teacher that goes in and, like, teaches this whole class and makes them start a band and starts a rock band with, like, elementary school kids. It's kind of a goofy movie, but that was kind of what I was doing. I was teaching this class at my church to just this group of kids. It was like a songwriting / composition / performing on stage class. It was just like kind of a rock music, playing live, you know, being in a band class.